Today we're talking about clickbaiting headlines, Twitter moments, and what makes a good leadership personality, and should I change my personality to become a better leader? I'm covering a lot of Gary Vee's questions because honestly he gets a lot of questions and I know a lot of them aren't being answered, so here's how I can provide some value to you. Let's get into the show.
Brad asks, I'm an aggressive introvert like Steve Wozniak who hustles hard. Do I need to be or find my Steve Jobs or my Gary Vee to win?
There are those people who are the face of the company and they might be a little bit more outgoing and eccentric at times, and people are drawn to that. But the reality is they don't become that person, and that they don't build that the company doesn't thrive on only them. You know, there's a lot of people behind the scenes who are really building the company from the ground up. You know, they're really building, they're the ones that are in the day-to-day operations that are getting things done. So what I would say is, instead of trying to alter who you are as an individual by memorizing Steve Jobs quotes or whatever else, I would focus on what makes you unique, what makes people attracted to you. And one of the best ways to do that is ask yourself, when people talk to me, what is something that they leave that's valuable to them? What is something that they take away that's valuable to them? So basically, what are they getting out of a relationship with me? And center in on that, and that can be something that can really benefit you. And I mean, you may find that there's someone who can articulate that better than you can, and maybe they become your salesperson, but I wouldn't go about changing who you are, because you are who you are for a reason, and that's what makes you so unique and honestly so attractive to other people.
Jeffrey asks, Twitter moments debuted during the AL wildcard game last night. Thoughts on it and its potential?
I love Twitter moments. I think it's an awesome use of news and data. I found myself scrolling through moments a lot recently. It's similar to kind of, if you're on Snapchat, you get the Snapchat stories or things from around of basically where Snapchat has grouped similar snaps together. And one I viewed was like a day in Dubai, and basically it started with snaps that were taken in the morning, and it went all the way through the whole day, all the way through to snaps that were taken in the evening. And it was not only was it super entertaining, but it was also really useful to me. I mean, I was able to get all these different perspectives of Dubai from all these different people. You know, moments I think is going to continue to rise in popularity. Some of the cool things are when people actually start contributing a lot more. Right now, moments are really for the top brands or the top news producing organizations. You know, top photographers are getting featured a lot, top videographers. So as that continues, it'll be really cool to be able to view news right in Twitter without having to click through to a link. You know, you'll be able to see, let's go with New Year's for an example. When the ball drops, you're not going to have to view a news story on that. You're going to be able to go to Twitter moments and see all of these videos and all of these Vine videos that people are taking in Times Square from different angles and different perspectives, and you're going to be able to access that and see it basically in less than a minute. You can see all these different perspectives, which is really, really cool. So I think Twitter moments is huge. Twitter needs some new things to make it lively. It's kind of losing its grip on interaction and touch with other people, and this is one thing it can do to combat that.
B. Lloyd asks, do you think clickbait headlines will die out? People say they hate it but still click.
So clickbait headlines, a good example of this is there's a trending YouTube video out there. I think it's the clickbait headline is GoPro falls into rattlesnake pit or something like that. And the reality is the GoPro did not fall into it. The GoPro was on a hockey stick, and the guy lowered the GoPro in it very much on purpose. It caught my attention. I, of course, clicked on it and watched the video. It was freaky, by the way. I definitely suggest checking it out. But, you know, it all goes into like that crying wolf mentality. If it depends on how far you take clickbaiting. I could argue that top 10 posts, top 10 blank, top 10 reasons your top 10 reasons to get fired from your job, or top 10 reasons you could get hired. All of those are very clickbaity, but they're valuable. And so people will probably never stop clicking on those kind of things. If you cry wolf, like Twitter shuts down, fires all of its employees, that'll get a lot of clicks, but people are going to realize very quickly that that was a bogus article. And so there's a good chance they're not going to trust future articles you put out. So I think you just have to use your own discernment. To answer the question specifically, no, they're not going to die out. It's like the same thing of saying, like, is the news and like our bad stories or like horrific stories that are very attention grabbing ever going to die out on news channels? No, because that's what drives viewers. But the more that people kind of deviate from the actual content they're producing, the content that they're actually providing, the less valuable that content is, and the more clickbaity the headline is, that publication will suffer and people will lose trust, and that will cause that publication to die out. But the overall tactic of clickbaiting headlines will not.